Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be once again talking about Creator Clash 3 because there's been some very big rumors surrounding this event, including one of the boxers participating in this event stating that the event has now been delayed, sparking massive backlash among the supporters of this event, many people demanding refunds and receiving none of which has caused even more controversy as the creators of this event and the now founders of the event, Idubbbz and his wife Anisa, have remained silent regarding these recent developments and have only spent their time arguing on Twitter. Now let's get into the very controversial situation involving this that also has some legal implications for people involved with the creation of this event. Of course, it's ran by Idubbbz and his wife Anisa. They created Creator Clash back a few years ago. The first one was very successful. The second one was not financially successful for them, but they embarked on a third one. This was announced a few months ago. As you can see, people were very thrilled about this event. A lot of people were caught by surprise given the fact that the previous Creator Clash didn't even make enough revenue to generate any sort of profit, let alone have any sort of expendable amount of money for charity, which is kind of the main crux they use as a defense for this event, saying, oh, don't criticize this. This is an event for charity. Well, last time they weren't able to directly raise enough for Creator Clash 2 to directly go into charity. But of course, after this announcement of Creator Clash 3, the next real venture Idubbbz did was create the very ill-advised content cop and content deputy on H3, his former friend, Ethan Klein. We all know how that went. It backfired horribly. But interestingly enough, in the content deputy, Idubbbz made a statement that I think is very ironic. He pointed to Ethan Klein and his wife Hila and said, the internet's going to decide who's to blame for the failure of this event if it does happen, and they're going to point the finger at you.
He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is going to be worse than TanaCon. Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Hila. I'm not going to blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders. But I can't speak for the internet. The internet might actually blame you guys for it.
Yeah, those statements would age like absolute milk. So basically, Idubbbz tried to say the internet's going to look at the situation, the failure of Creator Clash 3, and they're going to point the finger at you, Ethan, and your wife as well. And guess what? That's not what happened. Everyone right now, the majority of people, are pointing the finger at Idubbbz and his wife for absolutely destroying this event with terrible PR thanks to the content cop, as well as many other inflammatory statements and also associations with people who are incredibly unlikable, including the cast of weirdos who are part of the content cop on H3. Those are the people being blamed, mainly Anisa and Ian. And this is an absolute disaster for them. And you can see this contributed to several of the people involved with Creator Clash 3 dropping out. And this was right after the content deputy, Harley Morenstein, one of the boxers on the main title card of this event, would say, I'm not boxing. He would drop out. And he would clearly state on various podcasts that the main reason he dropped out is because Creator Clash 3 became a political event. A simple set of boxing matches between content creators became a proxy war for Israel versus Palestine. And that is directly the fault of the content cop and also the people involved with the production of that content cop. And you even have his opponent, LA Beast, saying, I'm still boxing, but no drama and politics will be a part of that. So there is a very clear environment that's been created by Idubbbz and Anisa and the people they associate with involving this event. And of course, when they got the heat from all this and two of their fighters dropped out, it wasn't just Harley Morenstein, but also Lena Ayad, who's a part of the H3 podcast, Ian and Anisa just kind of dropped out. But not really. They stepped down as the creators and real owners of this event, and now they're just founders, whatever that means. Clearly, they still have some sort of a role, but they passed off the actual business venture to some of their business partners, and they're basically trying to take a back seat on this. And in his video talking about this, Idubbbz makes it clear that they want to be able to speak their minds on social media without worrying about damaging this event. Well, guess what? Too late, buddy. You already destroyed the PR of this event that, again, as they use as a shield, they say this is for charity. Well, you destroyed the PR of this and you really hamstrung any chance of this producing any sort of profit that could be given away to charity. So that defense is absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, when this whole thing happened, when these two boxers dropped out and Ian and Anisa stepped down to a founding role, people wanted refunds as they are legally entitled. And unfortunately for them, there was a very small window provided by Creator Clash. Back then, you were basically given about 3 days till May 7th to try to get a refund. Well, guess what? As it'll turn out, and we'll get deeper in this in just a second, this seems very clearly illegal under Florida state law where this event is supposed to be taking place. But anyways, that's pretty much where we were at going up until now. So since then, what has happened? Well, nothing. The event is 1 month away. And as you can see, they still haven't figured out a replacement for Morenstein. And also, they haven't had a replacement for the other fighter as well from the H3 podcast. Now, you look around, there's other names here, but there's one in particular that's very interesting, and that is Will Neff, another one of the boxers for this event. And of course, it's H3, it's Ethan Klein sharing this news, saying this: Hassan's best friend Will announces Creator Clash has been delayed indefinitely. Looks like I was right. And based on this clip, remember, this is someone who's a part of the event itself. He says this event is indefinitely delayed.
I suppose it's out there in the ether, but Creator Clash is delayed. Creator Clash is delayed to a date far in the future. For me, this is a huge bummer, not only because I was bringing out a bunch of my family, but I was losing weight at a lightning clip. I was losing weight at a fucking lightning clip.
So of course, if this is true, this is a massive blow to an event that can't take any more hits. This is as bad as it could possibly be. At this point, you'd be better off just canceling the event altogether. And what reason does this guy have to lie? Apparently he's in good relations with Idubbbz, and also he is a participant in the event. Basically, the best case scenario for Creator Clash 3 is that he is lying and that he's just basically creating bad PR for the event and giving people the impression that it's been delayed once again. And of course, that causes more demands for refunds. That is the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is this is true, the event is delayed, and more people are going to be asking for refunds. And guess what? That's exactly what they're doing. Seeing this possible delay, people are reaching out for more refunds, but this is allegedly what they're receiving from Creator Clash, saying refunds were honored for purchasers who reached out immediately following the update in schedule. No further requests will be honored. Interesting. I think Florida state law has a very big conflict with these statements, and that is something pointed out on the Creator Clash subreddit, which is annihilating everyone involved with this event. This is one of the highest rated posts over the past couple of days. In fact, every post is negative about this event, mainly asking for refunds. This person says legally Creator Clash must honor refunds for the event, citing this Florida statute. And I am inclined to agree with this person. I don't think you have to be a legal mastermind to understand this very clear statute on these sorts of events, right? They say, upon postponement, substitution of either participant or cancellation of the main event or the entire program of matches, ding, 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 the second Harley Morenstein dropped out, the promoter shall refund the full purchase price of a ticket to each person presenting a ticket for a refund within 30 days after the scheduled date of the event. Within 10 days after the expiration of the 30-day period, the promoter shall pay all unclaimed ticket receipts to the commission. And there's some more rules about the commission and how long they have to hold on to these refunds. But anyways, so the emails being sent to the people requesting refunds are making it clear this was a first come, first served basis, and basically they cut it off about 3 weeks ago. That's not what this says. This makes it very clear. Let me line this up with the events. The second one of the main events, one of the people involved that steps down when Harley Morenstein dropped out, that's when the clock starts. That's when you can start asking for a refund. Then you have all the way until the event takes place. And then you have another 30 days after that to demand a refund. They have to give you a refund during that period. We're about 1 month away from the event. And then there's another month after that. And that's if it's not delayed. So right now, everyone asking for a refund, based on my understanding of this statute, should be getting a refund. Like, no questions asked. And of course, this event is in Florida, and you have people involved with this who are in Florida. Like, I don't understand, in this case, it would be interesting to see how Idubbbz and Anisa stepping down to a founding role will affect their culpability here. But clearly, like, they should be sweating about this and they should care about this because they were so tightly involved with this for such a long time, and they're still involved. So it's very clear based on this, the denial of refunds is wrong. It's not the right move, and I don't understand why they're doing this to themselves. And to make matters even worse, they're still selling tickets. Yes, there's this potential delay, but they're still selling tickets. So someone's lying here. Someone's doing this wrong. But either way, wouldn't you think if this Will Neff guy is lying, wouldn't they immediately come out and say, no, the event's still on? Well, of course, that's been met with crickets, but you can see. This is the ticket master for this event. The blue is availability. And don't be deceived, this outer ring here with the majority of seats, that's actually empty. They closed this off because they couldn't get any sales. In fact, if you hover over this, the 4 tickets that are there, those are people asking for refunds who bought these a long time ago before it was shut down. And now you see all these other areas, like right here. This is like primo ringside seats right here. Pretty much half empty. And look at the prices for this. How about a $220 ticket? Let's go a row back. How about a $600 ticket? Let's get closer. How about an $800 ticket? That's the prices they're demanding for this. They are so cooked. It's unbelievable. But going back to the related subreddit on this, you can see there's a lot going on here. People are not very happy, but those posting about this event in any sort of related subreddit, like Idubbbz' subreddit, they're getting banned for saying anything about this. You can see someone banned for being in another subreddit saying about Creator Clash. Creator Clash 3 was just delayed. How come no one's posting about this? And then that person, of course, would be hit with a permaban. And the reason is brigading from Red Bar. And then you can see, don't let the Jomas tell you to touch grass. They are monitoring every mention of themselves. The Idubbbz sub is crazy. Got banned for a single comment mildly critical of the H3H3 content cop. I got banned for criticizing his Cartarks video, LMFAO. I've been waiting for an excuse to talk about this video because it drives me crazy. About a year ago, Idubbbz made this video called Cartarks, Idubbbz Complaints, where he's talking about a channel called Cartarks, who, as their name implies, they go around and follow people at grocery stores who don't put their carts back. They approach them, ask them why they didn't do it, and they call them lazy bones for not doing it. And personally speaking, I think this is a pretty good litmus test of the kind of person you are, a pretty good indication of your character. Will you put the cart back when no one's looking? I'm just saying, right? But clearly, Idubbbz was triggered by this channel to the point where he makes a 16-minute rant going after this channel, which clearly went really well since it has more dislikes than likes. And I love this section. I can't get over how insane this is. He goes on a rant for almost 2 minutes, crying about the use of the term lazy bones and how damaging it is.
The first topic I want to cover with the Cartarks is the insult of lazy bones.
You're very tired right now, and that's causing an error in your judgment, lazy bones. Be a better person and not be so lazy bones. What we do is we narc out people who are being big old lazy bones and not taking their carts back. You're being a lazy bone.
And I do have a handicap, actually.
Is your disability lazy bonesitis?
There's a lot of people who say, like, yeah, this ain't so bad. The Cartark, he's hitting people with the white people insults. What's so wrong with that? It's like, dude, if someone called you lazy bones, would you not feel fucking awful? Especially if you're being lazy? That shit is like a level 9 white people insult. Those hurt. It's in that weird area of like, you're not being like barbaric. You're not calling someone an asshole and flipping them off. Fuck you, asshole. It's like when you see someone doing that, almost like violent and aggravated, you almost feel bad because it's like, ooh, you don't have control of what's going on here. I think one of the worst insults that I've ever received in my life was a white person insult, and it was just a really well-placed, no shit, Sherlock. Like, if someone hits you with a no shit, Sherlock at the right moment in time, you can't recover from that.
Yeah, guess who doesn't put his cart back when no one's looking? This guy right here. But yeah, thanks again to Idubbbz for his discovery of empathy. The guy who used to say it's all okay or none of it's okay when it comes to offensive jokes about people's races, who's now saying none of it's okay except against white people. What a transformation. I'm so glad his empathy meter continues to fill to this day. What a guy. What a great video. But anyways, going back to the Creator Clash subreddit, this person says, imagine distancing yourself from your own event just to have the encumbered luxury of arguing on Twitter. And that's exactly what Ian and Anisa are doing. They're just arguing more on Twitter. But looking at Creator Clash, even if you want to say they're detached, they have no responsibility. Creator Clash isn't doing or saying anything. Their most recent post was the announcement that Ian and Anisa were dropping out of the event, or at least they're going down to a founding role. And this is their pinned tweet from February. It's not updated. It even has Harley Morenstein in it. He's not even in the event anymore, and he hasn't been for a month. They have been radio silent on social media. You have one of the main title card participants who dropped out on your main promotional post that you still have pinned. This is crazy. And then you look at Idubbbz, right? What has he been up to? His last post was saying this about Ethan Klein. He wants that incel audience bad, where he's, again, trying to infer that Ethan Klein, the married man with children, is an incel or trying to appeal to incels, especially after sharing that Ian lost his virginity to Anisa, which, by the way, again, losing your virginity to the person you end up marrying is typically admirable, but in their case, they have weaponized the term incel to attack people, including married people with children, and it makes them very big hypocrites. Now, what's Anisa up to? Well, pretty much more of the same. This was her subtweet, very clear subtweet, about people, including Will Neff, sharing that this event was delayed, where she basically says, get a life, leave us alone, which is a great response, by the way, 10 out of 10. And on top of that, there's a recent podcast on their Patreon. I'm not going to play it because I guess it's paywalled technically, and that's where things get a little hairy. It should be fair use anyways, but I don't trust YouTube. But to sum up a part that Anisa said, she basically said they did such a great job creating and promoting this event, and she doesn't even believe that it's in better hands now. She's not sure if the event is in better hands now. How is anyone still buying tickets, dude? It's actually crazy. How is anyone in good faith buying these tickets? What a mistake. And also, work through your payment processors if you have paid for a ticket and you're trying to get it back and they're not giving you a refund. I think a lot of people are going to be raising lawsuits over this because it's very clear what's going on in Florida in terms of refunds for events like this. But if they want to keep this up, I don't know. At best, this event is delayed. I don't know. This whole thing is a disaster. And people like Idubbbz and his wife, Anisa, they are the main culprits for this entire event imploding. An event that probably shouldn't have happened anyways, based on the results of Creator Clash 2. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.